So very early on in the beginning of the channel, like when the channel started about a year-ish ago, right? I had this whole week where I was wearing all of my Disney shirts because we were supposed to go to Disney, but then, COVID derailed those plans for probably ever at this point. Like we're not even trying to reschedule anymore because no. And one of the shirts that I wore was this one, and it has the Friends, right? Has all the Friends stuff on it. And if you watched my day 366 video, the year in review, every single day was titled the one where, or the one with, or the one, just like they do all the Friends episodes, because I love Friends. That's it. End of story. No, it's really not. That actually does have something to do with the new theme that we are starting today. And by something, I mean literally everything. I love Friends. We are starting a Friends themed theme, lots of themes, today. And I'm going to tell you all about the first bar in just a moment. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 65 of 365 days of soap. Cool, only 300 days left. And yeah, today we're starting a new theme. We are doing the Friends theme, which is amazing. The Soaprentice and I both love Friends so much. In my personal life, I make Friends quotes. I reference Friends multiple times a day, like for sure. I think my entire personality actually comes from all of those characters sort of merged together. And then you got me. Weird. Yes. And we are starting the Friends soap line out with Rachel. And the reason we are starting it out with Rachel is because reasons. That's it. There was no real rhyme or reason to that. But Rachel's first. And the Soaprentice is actually going first in this, and there is a reason why she's going first and she's making Rachel, and that reason is called she found the mold that says Central Perk, and then she made little soaps for embeds to go inside the other soap that say Central Perk, but she put a ton of detail into them, and they look amazing. And so I'm like, well, then you have to do Rachel, because I'm not going to take your hard work and then put it into my soap. I only do that sometimes. And so yeah, she's making the Rachel bar. And the Rachel bar is going to be scented with a hazelnut coffee from Nature's Garden. Now, I work with Nature's Garden all of the time, so this is not a blind test or anything. I know what Nature's Garden scents do. I work with them often, as I said, and they're great. You can trust their soaping notes, good price points, all the jazz. This hazelnut coffee is beautiful. It's creamy, it's sweet, it has a bit of coffee to it, but mostly just creamy and sweet. It's delightful. Does discolor, so I am interested in seeing what the Soaprentice does for her design. So, let's go check that out. Hey, it's the Friends soap series, and I'm in love with this. This is going to be super awesome. Now, for this series, we did the same thing we did with the Marvel series, and we split it. So Soaprentice gets 3 of the bars, I get 3 of the bars, and that's awesome. And today we are starting with Rachel. And Rachel is going to be scented with hazelnut coffee from Nature's Garden because coffee. Now, I really like this hazelnut coffee scent. We've worked with it before quite a bit. It's not an in-your-face espresso, like very potent coffee. It definitely has some sweeter notes to it. And I love that. However, it being a coffee, it's super going to discolor. And so the Soaprentice will be working that into her pour accordingly. And she's doing her thing here and checking for emulsification and all of that jazz, which is, great. It's emulsification. It's a thing. Obviously, a crap ton of kaolin clay goes into all of this because we make clay soaps. And then she will be splitting this into, I think, 3 different colors. And we'll have different colors of like browns and coppers and whites going on in a swirl. And then there's something, fun for the rest of the bar. So, yes. Now, friends, awesome show. That was like my childhood. And it was amazing. Such a cool show. Never missed an episode, ever. I used to watch it with my mom. And I think that's the only television show that we've ever actually agreed on. So that's cool. Fond memories of that. Except I also do vividly remember that for the series finale, my mom had some chick over that was like selling her Avon or Mary Kay or some shit on Thursday night for the series finale. And I'm like, squealing and crying and all the things and just big pissed that my mom's not watching it with me. Because I'm like, dude, this is the only thing that we've ever agreed on, like in our entire lives. Because, it's children. You learn after you have your own children how right your mom is about everything. But, I wasn't there yet. And so, yeah, I didn't get to watch it with my mom. So that was sad. Mom, she doesn't watch my stuff. So it doesn't really matter. Anyway, yeah, Friends was amazing. It was such a fun, cool show. It doesn't really pass the test of time, though. It doesn't really stand up. I guess it kind of technically never did. I mean, thinking about 6 very, very gorgeous, very, very white people living in very, very big apartments, right? Without making a lot of money. None of that was super relatable to the New York experience, from what I can tell, or to, kind of life in general. Whatever. It was still fun, and we're still allowed a bit of fun in life, I suppose. So it was great. And I tried. Did you watch The Thing, the HBO reunion thing with the cast? I started to. I started to, and I watched everybody walk onto the set that they had recreated for The Thing and sort of, wow, and talk about it and whatever. And then they went out to the fountain that had been recreated and did some of that. And I don't know. We didn't need it, is the thing. We didn't need a Friends reunion if it was going to be just the cast of Friends getting back together and talking. Because I think anybody who knows Friends knows that all of these people are still friends, right? Especially with Courtney Cox and Lisa Kudrow and Jennifer Aniston. Super good friends. And so I don't know. I was hoping for an hour-long them in character special with where are they now? A bajillion years later. What are the kids like? Where's everybody living? Just a catch up on the characters. Kind of like they did with the Gilmore Girls, except that was, more than an hour long and was also freaking extraordinary. I loved that too, so much. But this one was just, I don't know. I don't feel like we really needed it. And I was kind of bummed that we did that it went down the way that it did. But, it was, I might go back and watch it. I don't know. Maybe I was just in the wrong mood entirely to watch it. Now, because this thing is scented with coffee, it's definitely going to have coffee grounds in it because we're making it a coffee bar, which is great. And that totally works for Rachel. Rachel was kind of a tough one. I couldn't really super figure out what to do for her. She was one of the harder ones to figure out. It's a lot of the characters, there are a lot of different ways that you can take the bar. And this one was sort of a dialing it in thing. And this is really only because the Soaprentice found this mold when she was at a craft store that had the Central Perk thing on it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. We can do that, right? And then I checked and it turns out, yeah, we actually can use that. So that's cool. But yeah, it was, and so that came into our lives. We knew that we were going to be doing the Friends thing, and she found this mold. And so, she bought it and brought it in and all that jazz. And then we had to put it in one of the bars. And so since it's Central Perk, it made the most sense that Rachel became coffee. And that's the one that it went on. But also, Rachel would have been hard to do. I don't know. I had a really hard time thinking of cool things to do for Rachel. Whereas for like Phoebe, we had a ton of different ideas. And Joey also had a ton of different ideas. I had one other idea for Rachel, and I cannot remember what it was. And it ultimately got scrapped because, again, we needed to have coffee, and that particular design wasn't going to be conducive with the coffee. So it got scrapped, and now I just don't remember what it was. But yeah, she was kind of tough. A lot of the other ones, much, much easier. Now, the cool thing about this particular pour, she's doing an in the pot swirl, and that means really, really easy, which is great. In the pot swirls are amazing because there's so much cool color variation and different swirl patterns and just beautiful bars that are all very unique and, cool just across the board. People will tell you on the interwebs that you should put your swirls in, your colors into the big bucket in a certain kind of precise way for in the pot swirls. I don't think there's any real rhyme or reason to it. I really don't. Just do some blobs wherever you kind of want because it's going to kind of do its own thing as it's coming out of the mold. I mean, unless you're wanting to do like a thin lines or like a wood grain, and then you shouldn't really be doing it this way. You should be doing lines up and down from handle to spout, and then, it works that way. But, this is going to create just an epic, cool thing of swirly fun. It's all scented with coffee. Let's go check out this pour and the cool little thing that the Soaprentice picked up. Okay, and onto the pour. And these are little things that she found, which are super cool. Absolutely adorable. And yeah, we looked it up and it turns out those are trademarked, so they can be used. That was cool. Love that. And this is going to be a slab pour. Now, I think this is the only slab. Is it? Shit, yeah. I think this is the only slab pour that we're doing for the whole series, which is super weird because for the most part, I really love doing, if I'm going to do a slab, I don't like doing just one. I like doing two. Or in this case, it should be 3, right? Like 3 slabs and 3 loaves, just because I'm very, very weird and probably a little bit OCD. I don't know. I have tendencies, I think. But I think this is the only one we're doing for that. Monica's. Yeah, totally. Wild. And, the Soaprentice's swirling and skewering skills are always on point. It's so beautiful. She's so good at all the things, you guys. She can take just a regular in the pot swirl and make it look magical, which is cool. Now, this actually will be put in the oven for C-Pop or Angel because these melt and pour toppers are so big and so thick that it's very unlikely that they're going to melt. But, when in doubt and you're using melt and pour, just don't C-Pop. That totally works. You can absolutely do that. But yeah, this is I think a really cute way to start the Friends line, right? Like, it's the coffee house, you guys. I wonder if in the thing they ended up going to the coffee house. I hope they did. Like, I hope they recreated that. If they did, I didn't see it in the reunion. I didn't watch it for long enough. I don't know. I honestly think maybe I was just in the wrong headspace for it because I loved Friends so freaking much. I have all of the box sets, all of the seasons in box sets for each individual season, and have watched each episode a million times and have everything completely remembered or memorized. And yeah, I don't know, wasn't feeling it for whatever reason. Speaking of ways, I love how she's putting these, one way and one the other, because that's visually cute, but also will really help her with the cutting of these things, because the Soaprentice is now cutting slabs. The Band-Aid has been ripped off and she's ready to go and cut all the slabs. But for now, this gorgeous slab of soap is going to be put into the oven for C-pop and gel, and it will be cut, tomorrow for us, but you get to see it right now, because that's the power of, editing and YouTube and videography. So let's go check out that cut. Okay, and on to the cut of this, and did go through C-pop and gel, and is already starting its discoloring thing for sure. And that is gorgeous. I love the back of that so much. It is just across the board going to be very, very beautiful. Now, I cut out the part where the Soaprentice was actually putting all of her lines in, but she gets really precise with this. Like, she will take a ruler and do a straight line from one side to the other, and then take it down lengthwise and also put her middle cut in. And that's awesome. I love that. If you're unsure about cutting slabs, get your ruler out and do the thing. Oh, those are pretty swirls. That's delightful. I love that for sure. But yeah, she gets really precise with that. Absolutely. I don't know. I think this is a really good start to the Friends line. Now, just full disclosure, I actually know all of the soaps for this, because, we made them all the same day. And this is the most tame one, for sure. And I guess it's meant to sort of ground the entire series together. Like, oh, okay, so this is what this is. Because the rest of them, they get kind of weird with the things that we decided to do for the soaps, which was fun. Had so much fun doing it. Weirdly, the Soaprentice is super into Friends as well, and I don't get it. Like, I guess it's just a multi-generational thing, You're, it's one of those shows that will stand the test of time, although I already said it doesn't actually stand the test of time. It's kind of problematic now, What do you think? Do you think it's problematic? I feel like Friends is problematic now. I feel like if a show like this were on television today, it would not be well received for a lot of very obvious reasons. But like the 90s were different, right? This was in the 90s. Totally. Yeah. The 90s were different for television and for society and whatever, and I'm super glad about where we are today. But, a lot of the stuff in the 90s wouldn't fly today. So, there's that. Those bars are all so gorgeous, though. She did such a good job with that. No, those are good. That's a really good start to the Friends line for sure. And of course, they're perfect, because the Soaprentice doesn't do not perfect. And that is all just super gorgeous. Now, for the actual molds, she did lay down some mica lines, some mica for the red for the central, and then for green for the, the perk part, but she inverted it. You can totally do that with melt and pour. Just put your mica lines down and do the thing, and then pour over it, and it's all good. It all stays reasonably well, exactly where it's supposed to. It's like the stuff I did for the Magician's line too, with the Julia thing. Very, very similar. It's very, very easy process for sure. And I'm super excited to be doing more of the Friends characters, because Rachel is not my favorite. And so I'm looking forward to doing, the favorites and all that jazz. But for now, there's the first bar in the Friends line. That is day 65, Rachel's bar. And it's cute. And there they are, the Rachel bars. I really love the cool contrast between the green and the red on top of that brown and white swirl. It's gorgeous, completely beautiful across the board, and a really good one for Rachel, because the thing is, Rachel's kind of a hard one to do a theme on, because she's just kind of there. And the other characters, they have much more, I think there's something else to their personality that makes it much easier to do some cool, manufacturing of a theme. So let me look for those throughout the rest of them. But for this one, the Soaprentice nailed it. Rachel worked at the coffee house. It smells like coffee. Central Perk is on the thing. It's gorgeous, for sure. If you are interested in the Rachel bar, you cannot get it until all of the soaps from the Friends line, as well as the bath bombs and bubble bars, are done and released. You know the drill. Gotta be patient, for sure. There's a lot of other things at soapandclay.com, though. Go check those out. Yes. If you're interested in seeing what other themes we do or what we do for the rest of the Friends line, subscribe. That would be awesome. Become a Sudzer. For those of you who are Sudzers, hey, thank you for being a Sudzer and for being here for the start of a new awesome Friends theme thing. Drop a comment below and let me know which is your favorite character. Or it doesn't even have to be the first 6, because there are like a crap ton of characters that went through that in 10 years, and it's awesome. So let's chat. That would be fun. If you are interested in following me on social media, I'm there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Do your thing. That's awesome. I appreciate you joining me for another round of 365 days of soap. I'm out of here for today, but I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.